Rose, we're talking about Mother's Day today, and it's an interesting one for both you and me because we're not mothers. I'm child free by choice and have decided to never have children, and you have decided to freeze your eggs to decide later if you want to have children. Tell me about the thought process going into deciding to freeze your eggs.
So I froze them last year when I was 34. I just left a marriage, and I just wanted to have that extra time. Apparently, 34 is the ideal age to freeze your eggs because you still got high quality eggs, but it's not so young that it'd be a waste of money. And my issue was that I know that I have fertility issues anyway. I've got endometriosis and a low egg count. So I actually, for a while, tried to have kids in my early 30s without success. But I think all the way along, when I was trying, every time it failed, I would actually feel just a little bit of relief. And I kept ignoring that feeling. And I kept thinking that, oh, I'm just a bit nervous about the responsibility, or I'm worried about climate change and, what kind of world I'll give to my kids. But when I thought about it more, I realized I'd never actually considered why I would have children because it's just the thing that you do. It's the thing that's expected of you. And I think most people know that they want them or they have them, by accident. But no one teaches you how to make a decision of whether to have them, whether it's actually the right thing.
Yeah, so with Mother's Day coming up, will you expect that you might be a little bit more reflective on that day or think about those eggs that are sitting in the freezer?
I might consider my eggs, but honestly, I normally just think about my own mum and my sister-in-law, and their kids. I don't really think so much about me. I think because it's hard for me to imagine being a mother. It's never really been a life dream of mine. I only tried because it's what you do.
And what about a lot of people who don't have kids tend to celebrate their fur kids on Mother's Day. So if you've got a cat, I've got dogs. I'm not in that camp. I think being a mother is very, very different to owning a pet. But how do you feel?
Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same. It's never crossed my mind. Although I do sometimes refer to Doris as my daughter. It's usually ironic. I'm well aware that I do nothing for her except feed her and pat her. It is so different.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of like, you know what? Let's not dilute Mother's Day. Mothers have the hardest job in the world. We know the sacrifices that they've made. So let's just celebrate them for one incredible day and spoil them rotten rather than trying to slice off bits and pieces for different parts of society.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think mothers get such short shrift. They're judged if they do anything wrong. They're not appreciated for the things that they do, which is, everything. So yeah, I'm just very appreciative of the mothers in my life.
Okay, just to finish up, I'd like to give you just a chance to give a shout out to your mum.
Well, my mum is wonderful, and actually, my novel is dedicated to my mum and dad. She is the most patient person who's supported me while I've spent 15 years learning how to write, and she's really quite amazing. Taught me to read and write when I was 4.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait for the next book.
Thank you.